because now you're putting intention behind it. But you know what else you're putting behind it that I don't think we talk about? I'm going to get really in depth with it. It's gratitude. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Dope Life Podcast, the dopest podcast ever. And I'm, of course, your host, Coach AJ, Dope Life Coach, the dopest life coach ever. And if you haven't already, please leave us a rating and review and subscribe to our podcast. I'm a one-woman show, and I do everything on my own. So if you can help by pushing it out into the algorithm so the algorithm could be algorithmic, I would greatly appreciate that, because that will help my podcast get into the ears and the hands of the people who are just like yourself, that are trying to live a dope life of self-love, self-confidence, self-compassion. So let's just take a couple of deep breaths. If you are driving, as always, please, I beg you, just do with your eyes open, keep your eyes on the road, all right? So we're just going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. We do that 3 times, okay? So in through our nose, sigh it out. In through our nose, sigh it out. In through our nose, sigh it out. Okay. Now, if you've been rocking with us for a moment, you know that we've added that in a lot more. Many of you asked me to add that in because it helps you set to yourself. And, shout out to y'all for giving me back some feedback. And if you do want to give feedback, you can email me at info@dopelifecoach.com. Again, my email address is info@dopelifecoach.com. If you have any feedback or any topics you want me to discuss, by all means, hit me up. Today's episode, I really want to touch base on how we could set intentions and set the tone for our goals. You know what I'm saying? And how can we really set the intention and set the tone for 2024 specifically, or any other quarter you're going into, however you want to break it down. Because it's very important that you set your tone and your goals of what you want to do. Whether you are a entrepreneur, 9-to-5, shift worker, corporate, whatever. Because I've done it all. Okay, I've worked in a call center. I've worked in corporate in the film marketing departments. I've worked in shift work as driving the bus and being part of the transit system in my city. And I'm an entrepreneur. So I've wore many hats. And the one thing I've always learned with all of it was, what's my end goal? I always create an end goal for why I do it. What's my purpose of me doing all of this stuff and doing that job? So I want you to think about, what is the tone that you want to set for 2024? What does it look like? What does it sound like? What are you releasing yourself on? What are you no longer allowing yourself to sit in? What is the tone? And one of the ways that I set the tone is with intention. You could set goals all you want, but if you don't have an intention of what is the purpose of set goals, kind of defeats the entire purpose. Like, what is your overall end year intention? You got to ask yourself. At the same time, you got to do everything with intention. So if let's say, for example, your goal is to, save money by the end of the year. Now, you could create a plan all you want, but what's the purpose of you setting it? Because the purpose is what's really going to help you stay on course as well. All right, my purpose is to, go on vacation at least twice a year. My purpose is to eventually purchase a house. My purpose is to eventually pay off some debt. All right, cool. Bet. Now we can start talking about what steps you're going to take, the intention of it. You got to put intention behind the steps as well. Because if you don't have, you could do steps. Anyone could take steps, but you got to put some intention. And with intention, you do visualization. All right? Visualization, I did an episode on it this season, and y'all really loved it, which I'm happy about, because it's such I don't want to say underrated, but because people do it, but people would think, well, that's some kid shit. Yeah, it is. I want you to think about when you were a child and people would ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you would say, I want to do X, Y, and Z. I can see myself doing this. It's literally that. Just because we're adults doesn't mean we can't tap into our childhood. Just because we're adults doesn't mean we can't tap into the stuff that we used to do as kids. Because a lot of the stuff like visualization that we used to do as kids, you probably have it now. Many people would say, like, I want to have a house. I want to do this. Have you ever stepped back and looked at yourself and said, you know what? I do have all those things. These are things I talked about when I was like 7, 8 years old. damn, I do have of a partner. I do got a dog. I do got this job. Have you ever, I do got this car. I do have this. I do have that. I do. Wow. I never take a step back and reflect because you've been visualizing practically your entire life. You have. Now I know you're going to say, well, I didn't visualize this, coach, and this happened. Obviously, because life be life in, and people say be people. But that's just life. That's going to happen, unfortunately. But there's a good chunk of your life that you visualize. So when you think about 2024, tap back into that childlike self when you used to see yourself doing X, Y, and Z. Think about it. Think about it in depth. Do that every day, even if you just do it for like 10 minutes and be detailed. You're going to find the details when you open your eyes. You're going to be like, did I really see that? Did I really witness that? Because now you're putting intention behind it. But you know what else you're putting behind it that I don't think we talk about? I'm going to get really in depth with it. It's gratitude. Many of us do not show gratitude for what we have now, but we expect to have more to come. How? You're asking and manifesting and praying for all these things, but you are not even showing gratitude for what you have right now around you. I'm going to show you how I show gratitude now. I didn't always do this. And I realized that in your highest and deepest self is how you're apparently supposed to do it, which I had no idea. So for me personally right now, I'm going to show you how I'm going to show gratitude. I'm using a camera to record this podcast. I'm only going to start with the camera because I can go deep. I am grateful for the person who designed this particular camera. Moreover, if I can go back, I'm grateful for their parents and their ancestors and their lineage. And I'm grateful for that line, those bloodlines that help engineer, design, manufacture, create, assemble, ship, deliver, sell. Do you see how I did that? I'm grateful for this camera right now, for this mic right now, because it allows me to speak to the people. It allows me to tell you about gratitude. I'm grateful for the phone that's over my microphone, the people who designed this great piece of machinery, the people who assembled it, because I know like they've had to work to assemble this, just like how they did for my camera. That's what I'm talking about. Everything that we have around us serves a purpose. Everything in your home, around you, your car, serves a purpose. Your house, whatever, serves a purpose to you. Show gratitude what you got right now. Because how you expect people be like, I'm going to manifest more money. But are you managing your money now? Are you managing your money properly right now? Have you shown gratitude to even the debt you got? Because to be very honest, you're probably like, what the hell would I show? What came out of it? Well, coach, I went on vacation. Well, coach, I did this. Well, yeah, you spent the money. Yeah, part of it is you got to pay it back. But what did you get out of it? What did you get? Show gratitude. You could even say, well, I didn't get much. You got to listen, though. You definitely got to listen to not make it the same mistake twice or 3 times or 4 times. Or you feel what I'm trying to say? When it turns to gratitude, don't just say, I'm grateful for the camera or I'm grateful for the fridge for work. Nah, go down to the nitty gritty of it all. I will have produce and I will say, yo, I'm washing my produce. I'd be like, yo, I'm so grateful for the farmers that planted this. I'm grateful for them. Because shoot, if they didn't plant it and they didn't take care of the crop, I'm not going to be able to make delicious food. And I'm not going to be able to have delicious food with friends and family that create memories. We all want more. And I get that. But how would we start with looking at what we got right now? Take, for example, I love going on drives. I'm grateful for everyone who is I'm actually going to take an even further step back. That this made me just think. I want you to think about your home and how many people are connected to your home. Because everyone plays a part. Even if let's say it's a brand new bare bones home. You're just about to move into your brand new place. Someone had to clean it before you got there, although you didn't clean it again. But someone had to assemble your flooring, your light fixtures. You know, people come in and they install shit into homes. So many people have to spend hours and time. Show them gratitude because in that way, in many cases, your home is your peace. Show gratitude for the people who assemble your car, because it allows you to be adventurous or allows you to sometimes escape and take care of yourself. We can't keep saying that we want more and we don't appreciate what we have right now. So when you're thinking about 2024, let's recap. When you're thinking about 2024 and you're thinking about what goals you want to set, if you're not backing it with intention and gratitude as like the pinnacle stepping stone for you succeeding, take a step back and add that in. Add into the intention factor, add in the gratitude factor, because those steps are needed, and they're simple steps too. My name is Coach AJ. Thank you again for tuning into the Dope Life Podcast. As always, I appreciate y'all. Please go ahead, like, share, follow. You know what I'm saying? Send it to your people. Send this episode to your peoples. Tell them to subscribe. Leave a little rating, leave a review. And as always, y'all, please walk with peace and walk with love.